Hello everybody, Dylan Geddes here with Gnarled Iron Forge, and today I'm going to be working on, finishing up a lot of these J-hooks that I got sitting over here, and I figured I would take you along for the ride. Here, I should probably give myself a little bit of lighting. Whoa, that's a lot better. So I'm going to be working on my J-hooks. I'm going to be finishing those up. I have a new show coming up, and I want to get some more product out there, and I know you guys like to see that kind of stuff, so I'm going to be doing that today. I'm going to walk through a lot of, okay, so I've made J-hooks in the past on the channel, and I want to walk through a lot of different fundamentals, and I want to really talk about the fundamentals that I do while making J-hooks. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and hey, consider subscribing, consider sharing, liking, hey. I'll tell you that at the end of the video, if you make it to that. God bless you if you do. Let's get after it. Let's get something forged, man. Stop, just shut it and get to work, right? So the first skill that we are going to be talking about is drawing out a taper. Keeping your hammer nice and straight with the piece, striking at an angle towards the near edge of your the far edge of your anvil. Rotating. Some people like to rotate all four on the near side. Some people, like myself, like to rotate just twice on the far side. Now the key to this, keeping your hammer striking at that angle that you want your taper to be at. You don't want to be striking this flat on flat, because then you're just going to be drawing it out. You're not going to be forging that really nice and aggressive sloped taper. We're just going to continue that. Keeping your hammer straight and in line with the piece. Then once you got your taper down to where you'd like it, just find where that taper is sweeping off to one end. Give it a couple of taps. Bring it back here. Square it up. Get it nice and straight and in line. And there you go. You got yourself a nice little taper. Now you can do this slightly darker if you'd like. At this heat, it's fine. It's still quite hot, but it's not super duper hot. You could take and dress your edges. Now, many blacksmiths do this hot, but if you're just gently knocking the edges off, you're not doing a whole lot of work and not a whole lot of change. You can go ahead and do that cold, as we would say. And there you go. And that, my friends, is how you draw a taper. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our finial in, and then we're gonna get this thing twisted up and we're done. So I'm gonna show you how to do half on and half off hammer blows next. So now we're going to be talking about half on and half off hammer blows. What do I mean by that? This is also known as isolating material. That is when you have, pretend this is nice and hot and I'm not burning the crap out of myself. You have this set off of your anvil at wherever you want your step to be, and you strike nice and in line, pop, pop, half on, half off with your hammer, continuously pop, 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 pop. And what that does is it causes a step and a reduction in material up in here, and keeps the material here nice and even and nice and straight, nice and in line, and original material. So that way you can create a step, and then da-da-da-da. That is what causes you to be able to get an isolated finial. You can widen this out, you can draw it out longer, but you can see here that's what is done with that step. I will show you now, I will demonstrate now how to do so. I gotta get it hotter though. Radio, so like I said, we're just gonna isolate this taper that we got here. Half on, half off, right about there. There you go, friends. That is how to forge a step or an isolation in your material. Rightio, next fundamental skill, talking about twisting. So that means we need a twisting wrench over the vise. Now, when it comes to twisting material, you're gonna need to get yourself a twisting wrench. There are a lot of different ways, a lot of different sizes of twisting wrench. This is a lovely set gifted to me from the absolutely astonishing Noah Corey. Sadly, it does not fit in my little corner, so I gotta fix up a new bending location for that. But you can also just bend some material like this and then get yourself a big rod, bend it like that, and then back around to accommodate a different size and use that. Or you can just use a crescent wrench, whatever you have on hand like that. You can also just use the tongs that you utilize to manipulate the material into the area that you are doing it. Anyway, they're just not as good as this other stuff is. Now the key to a good twist is a nice and even heat. Like I said, the key to a good twist is a nice and even heat. Getting it clamped down in the vise where you want it. In this case, it's in line with the scroll end. Get your twisting forks or your wrench lined up, and you want to count. Keep it nice and in line how many full rotations you do. In this case, I'm only doing one. Now, once it's right here, just take a gander, look at it, see if anything needs to be tweaked out. That needs to be back a little bit. All in all, she's looking pretty good. At this point too, if you want, you could even brush it up, just to clean it off and take a gander at what you've done, the magnificence that you've just created. Now, twists can be done in a lot of different ways. You can do it right, you can do it left, you can do it one twist and then cool it down and then do another twist. You can twist it, cut lines in it, and then twist it back, and it creates a little pineapple. You can do a whole bunch of things when it comes to twisting, but the fundamentals of it is a nice, long and even heat across the entirety of the bar that you want to twist. So doing small twists like this, much easier than doing full-on bars, because you need to heat that whole thing evenly, or you're going to get things twisted up more in one spot than another. You can kind of see that here, where up in here it didn't twist as much, and down here it didn't twist as much, because the conduction from the vise being so cold cooled off this part here, and the conduction of the twisting wrench being so cold cooled off this part here. So it twisted more in here than it did up in here and down there, which is fine. That's to be expected with all these twists. You know, can't just preheat all of my tools to the proper temperature, because that would just be awkward and not fun. And that, my friends, is how to twist some steel. Pretty simple. Now, for all you lovely folks out there that are still watching the long form video, we need to check to see if this guy here is nice and in line, which, by the way, it almost never is, or at least for me, not yet. So you'll notice that the scroll kicks off in that direction, and the entire thing is twisted out that direction. So we want to heat up in here, pull that back, and get that scroll in line. So essentially what we're doing is moving this entire thing like this, and then twisting that scroll back in on itself. So we're gonna heat this whole area up and mingle with it a little bit, and then we'll be ready to clean it up. All right, now remember, we're just tweaking things out. It doesn't look hot, it's a dull cherry. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the vise. Just putting it in the vise, looking down it, and giving it a slight tweak. That's all it takes. Again, like I said, it's not showing up really well on camera, but it is still a really dull cherry. It's not a black heat, so sorry, I'm cutting the light of it, aren't I? Sheesh, look at me go. Yep, but so yeah, there you go. That's a nice inline hook. Now let's talk about how to check it. This is an awesome little technique that I was taught recently. I say recently, it was a little less than a month ago. So you get it on your anvil, make sure it's nice and flat, set your hammer on it, and you look right down it. And I can tell you right there, she's looking pretty good. Now you can't really see it that much. Here, let me show you. How's that? You set your hammer on it nice and flat, make sure there's nothing on your anvil face, of course, and you look right down it. And we can tell that's looking pretty solid. Now this goes in the pile. And that is when I would get myself out another one, heat it up, start banging. Now, you guys remember how I did all of this stuff, right? Right? I hope so, because I made that video a little bit ago. Alright friends, that's all the time I got for this video. If you like it, feel free to like it. If you dislike it, feel free to dislike it. Let me know why in the comments down below as to why you either like it or dislike it. So that way I might better make content for all you lovely individuals in the future. Truly, you all mean a lot to me. I'm going to fire up the forge real quick. Give me a second. There we go. Nice and warm. If you like this kind of content and you'd like to see more like it, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell to notify you whenever I post videos. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. And if you want to help me grow, share it with a friend that might enjoy this kind of content as well. I really appreciate each and every one of you that do. There are people that share my videos, and you guys are sweet. Whew. Man, it's awesome. I need a drink. Oh, protein shake. Oh, it tastes so good for you. I'm telling you. Vanilla almond milk with chocolate protein powder is really good. Oh man, super good. It helps you stay full. Anyway, again, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome. You guys mean a whole lot to me. The fact that I'm able to do all this stuff, I mean, it's not paying for itself, but it's just so much fun. I got a feedback loop, and I'm starting to learn things, you know what I mean, that I wouldn't necessarily learn. I'm getting a motivation. I'm learning that I have ups and downs, and I have the freedom to say, well, today's a down day, so I'm just gonna like be online and talk to people and all that jazz. Today's an up day. Today's an up day if you haven't noticed, so I'm gonna film some freaking videos, man. Woo! Anyway, I really appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome. And man, I'm gonna stop blabbering on because I got more work to do. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, stay warm. God bless. Bye-bye.